What is going on, Dexter fans? Well, we've got our first official announcement / news regarding the future of our beloved franchise today.
Surprise, motherfucker.
There was some rumblings within a week ago. Today, there are actual official statements coming out of the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, all the reputable firms out there. So for those that don't know, Showtime and Paramount Plus are going to be merging into a new streaming service. And this seems to be the thing nowadays with HBO and Discovery. Everybody's trying to consolidate, get all their stuff under one hub, which I appreciate. But you have Paramount Plus that obviously has been one of the less successful, one of the less interesting of the streaming services that has come out the last number of years. Showtime being one of the better producers of television alongside HBO. That's a big get for them to have underneath their little streaming service platform. So in the midst of this merger, of these early announcements regarding this becoming one streaming service platform, there was a lot of different shows announced today that's not only Dexter related. There's new Yellowstone type shows. There's new Billions spinoffs that are coming, but specifically Dexter, since I am a massive Dexter fan, we got some interesting tidbits here. So they basically announced for sure, now it is confirmed, there is a Dexter Origins show in production. It has been greenlit. It's going to talk about the origins of the character, the early days, the younger days. Presumably it's not going to be Michael C. Hall. That would make sense since he can't play a younger Dexter. There's rumors that maybe James Remar would come back. That's literally the only thing that interests me about this, but we'll get into all that. So the Hollywood Reporter says, as for Dexter, McCarthy announced Monday that Showtime has gone straight to series on a prequel series, Dexter Origins, that will tell the origin story of Michael C. Hall's serial killer drama that first bowed on Showtime in 2006 and was part of a wave of antiheroes that captivated viewers. Now, I talked about this in a YouTube short, and look, I don't mean to seem like I'm speaking for all Dexter fans, because certainly I am not. There's probably a lot of people out there that this would excite, that this would interest, and I will always leave the door open to be surprised. As much as I'm not interested in a lot of things that I'm going to talk about today, I will still watch at least the first episode to see if maybe they can win me over, and maybe they will. I mean, these are the people that gave us the first 4 seasons of Dexter, so they have given me some of my favorite shit ever. But I think it's pretty safe to say that most Dexter fans are not interested in this for a multitude of reasons. The big one, you're not going to have Michael C. Hall. Michael C. Hall is Dexter. He's the reason why we love this character. He's the reason why we watch. He is the show. And I'm not saying that there isn't a younger actor that couldn't do a fantastic job with this character and maybe even do a really interesting spin on it. But for the most part, if you don't have Michael C. Hall, you don't have Dexter fans. And so there is your gigantic handicap right out of the gate. Number 2, a show focusing on Dexter's origins and his younger days as a killer. Pretty sure we got a lot of that shit the first couple of seasons of Dexter. We already know. We know how his origins went with that container and the chainsaws and his mother's blood. We know how his younger years went. We saw him from a really small child to maybe an 8 or 9-year-old to a preteen to a teenager in college. We have seen all of that shit in backstories. What else are you going to tell us? What else are you going to do aside from just, it's an excuse to milk the fuck out of this franchise that, I'm sorry, most of us are burnt on because of your last 2 attempts at a season finale. What are you going to do? What are you going to tell us? What's going to be the intriguing hook here that we do not already know as Dexter fans from the first couple of seasons? Answer me that, and maybe you will get my interest. The third problem is that the timing of this announcement does not give me any faith whatsoever that this is actually something interesting that they have a creative drive to do. This is only in lieu of the fact that Showtime and Paramount Plus are merging together to become this new brand, whatever the hell it ends up being called. And so this just gives me the impression that you're just trying to figure out shit to pad out that streaming service with, to try to get people to subscribe. You're doing the Disney Plus thing. You're saying, hey, we got this subscription service. We want everybody to join. So let's just put out a bunch of half-ass attempts at TV shows and sequels to movies that are 30, 40 years old. and try to get everybody to be a subscriber. And maybe they'll stick around because people sometimes are too lazy to cancel stuff. That is the business model right now that this has given me the impression for. Not, oh, we've got all these stories that we've been hanging on to for decades. We have all these ideas that we couldn't do in New Blood, we couldn't do in Dexter, we had to keep the focus on Michael, and now I'm so excited to tell these stories of the early days of Dexter. No, you don't get any of that. You get, well, we're merging together, so what's one of our biggest IPs? Oh, that show that was literally the most streamed and most watched thing 2 years ago? Yeah, I guess we'll revive that shit. But it doesn't stop there. There are two other things that they are not as concrete of an announcement as this Dexter Origins show, but they are ideas that one of which we have known was coming. The other is the most obvious thing you could possibly do if you're just trying to pad out your shit with content. So Dexter New Blood, for those that don't know, was, as I just joked about, the most watched show that Showtime ever had in the history of that program. And then they said, oh, fuck. Well, we got that ending. What are we going to do? If we had a season 2 ready to go, we would be fucking pulling up money in dump trucks. What are we going to do now? And we have all speculated ever since that dark night that we got that garbage finale of Dexter New Blood. And I don't mean to shit on it if you are a fan of it. I know there are fans of Dexter New Blood's ending. I know there are fans of Season 8's ending. Totally cool. I am not one of them. Passionately not one of them. But that dark night, whenever it came to close and we realized that is the last of our beloved Dexter that we will ever see, presumably, all of us, probably most loudly me, was saying, just fucking wait. Just fucking wait. Tomorrow, within a week, they're going to announce a Harrison spinoff. They're going to announce a season 2 that's going to follow that dickbag. And lo and behold, after just not even a week ago, all the reports saying that the season 2 was canceled, even though it was never part of the fucking plan in the first place, until they saw the ratings and the money and went, woo, we got to figure something out. They said it was canceled in favor of this Dexter Origins. Now they are saying that they are looking to do a season 2 of Dexter New Blood. It says Showtime revived Dexter with a sequel series, New Blood, that helped repair the legacy helped repair the legacy of the series after its original finale. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Shame on you. Was widely considered one of the worst in television history. Yeah, just one of them, huh? New Blood went on to become a ratings and streaming success for Showtime. That's putting it lightly. Phillips previously told The Hollywood Reporter that he would drop everything to do a new incarnation following Dexter's son, Harrison. In quotes, yes, there's a lot I'd like to explore. I don't have permission yet from Showtime to explore it, but if they were to call, much like Gary Levine called to do what became New Blood, and say we want to do Harrison, I'd drop everything and say yes in a minute. And now going back up to the previous paragraph halfway through it says Showtime additionally is developing a new version of Dexter New Blood, which will depict the ongoing emergence of Dexter's son, Harrison.
Oh, God.
None of us want that. I don't care if you love Dexter New Blood, if you love the ending, if you're the most optimistic person in the world, there is not a single Dexter fan, I would highly doubt, that would be really excited about a Harrison spinoff. And look, it's the fault of the writers. Jack Alcott, the guy that did the acting, the actor that played Harrison, it's not his fault whatsoever that a lot of people hated his character. It's because of the way that he was written.
Open your eyes and look at what you've done.
He was a smug, self-centered little shithead that had every reason in the world to be pissed off at his father. Every reason in the world to be acting out against his father, but spent all season long doing the most aggravating fucking things, making the worst decisions possible, getting buddy-buddy with the serial killer of the goddamn season, the villain of the season, outing his dad's name that eventually leads to the finale, pulling the fucking trigger himself. No, there are overwhelmingly more fans of this show that would hate this idea than there are those that would be willing to give it a shot. That is the worst thing that is announced here, is that they're actually dumb enough to try to continue with the Dexter New Blood Season 2. Let's see those ratings compare. Let's just see how episode 1 of that compares to any of the episodes of New Blood. I will be fucking fascinated to see that drop off. The third idea, and this It's not necessarily that I hate this idea, it's that it's the most boring and obvious possible direction that you could take to try to milk this franchise. The Cabler said they are leaning further into the Dexter franchise that trace the backstories of some of the show's most iconic characters. This includes John Lithgow's memorable Trinity Killer.
You're a cunt.
Dexter creator Clyde Phillips, who was behind New Blood and served as showrunner on the first 4 seasons, which included the Trinity season, will oversee the franchise for Showtime. So you have Dexter Origins, you have Harrison, Dexter New Blood 2, and you have a Trinity Origin story series.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody can deal with you.
And I go back to what I said about the Dexter origin. What the fuck are you going to tell us that season 4 did not already tell us? We know why he became a killer. We know all of the events that led to it. We saw a few flashbacks of him being younger, not too much younger because it was still John Lithgow. And the same exact problem you have with Dexter Origins is that it's not going to be a show with fucking John Lithgow. If you're doing a younger version, there's no way in hell that they can de-age him to make that make sense. So it's going to be a new recasting. Not to say that you wouldn't maybe get some scenes or some kind of a framing device with John Lithgow introducing it or flashbacks or whatever, and maybe the same with Dexter Origins. But the reason we would be interested in anything regarding the Trinity character is if John Lithgow is the one portraying him. So yet again, I ask, what the fuck? And I hate being so negative. I wish that I could see an announcement with Dexter and I would go, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I'm still pissed about New Blood and season 8. It still insults the fuck out of me that you guys did that twice. But maybe this is the best way to go. And all 3 of these ideas just make me cringe. They make my fucking balls ache. Because you put all 3 of them together, and as I said at the end of the Dexter Origins segment, all they do is scream to me, we want content. We want something to pad out Paramount Plus or whatever it's going to end up being called. We want to be able to put a social media advertisement. Subscribe now to Paramount Plus and get Dexter New Blood Season 2, Trinity Origins, and Dexter Origins only on Paramount Plus. You know that's the only reason that this is happening. Not a creative reason, not a investment in Clyde Phillips or anybody else that should know better. But if anything, that the season 8 finale or season 8 in general and the New Blood finale taught us as fans is that Showtime has no fucking idea what the fans of this franchise want. Not the majority of us. And again, I don't mean to make anybody that likes season 8 or that ending or New Blood and that ending feel like you're an inferior fan. You're not whatsoever. Your opinion is just as valid as mine. But it is a pretty much fact that the majority of fans did not like season 8 and did not like the ending of New Blood. And so there's no faith in the majority of the people that they are hoping are going to tune in for this and subscribe to Paramount Plus. There's no faith because we've been burned twice. Dexter is the only show that I can think of in history that had the worst series finale twice. So, if I was to rank these as far as interest, obviously Harrison's show is like fucking sub-level. That's a show that I might not even watch the first episode just to give the middle finger, because there's no chance that I'm going to give one shred of a fuck about any story regarding that character. They just wrote him too poorly. I can't care about him. As good as he was acted, I can't care about him. Right above that, I would put Dexter Origins, because we got way more info of his origins than we did Trinity. There's more room to tell other stories there. Maybe how he met his wife, or him as a father. There's opportunities there, even though they're boring and obvious and not very creative. But Dexter Origins is in the middle because I don't feel like there's any answer. There's no journey you're going to take me on that I'm going to go, wow, inform me, enlighten me. What did I not know from 8 seasons of Dexter? Please tell me. Then you have at the top, and it's not very high. It's not very high on the mountain of interest, is this Trinity Killer Origins. And the way that they say that they're going to do backstories of some of the show's most iconic characters. So what are you going to do? The other villains of the series as well? Are you going to do the origin story of Brian Moser? Guess what? We know that shit too. You're going to do the origin story of Miguel. I love Miguel. Not a very popular villain though. Are we going to find out more about Lila? I'll watch a show with Lila just because it's got Lila in it. But beyond that very, very shallow interest, what are you going to tell me there? I mean, what the fuck? Guys, Dexter is one of the most beloved television shows of all time. Dexter is one of the most beloved TV characters of all time. It is also one of the most controversial TV shows of all time because the overwhelming loud majority of people hated the way that you tried to end that series twice.
I'm asking you to do this for me.
Sorry, no.
Well, then fuck you!
Let it die. Let it die. The only interest that people had after that season 8 finale was hope that you would give us a better ending, that hope that you would follow that up and make it right. And you didn't for a lot of us. There's no more hope. There's nothing else we want to explore with this character that you haven't already done well and then done shitty later on. There's nothing. So I know I am not speaking for everybody. I'm going to be eternally curious in the comment section below for everybody to gauge your interest. Tell me what interests you or does not interest you about this. Please be brutally honest down below. If I'm off base, tell me that I am off base and I will happily eat my words. If most of the comments are like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking, I will take this over any other idea possible. I would love to see a Trinity origin story. I want to give Harrison a second chance. If most of you are telling me that, then I'll shut the fuck up and I'll see what the hell happens. But my very unfiltered opinion is that all of this sounds like garbage to me. All of this gives me zero faith, zero hope that there's going to be anything of value here. And as I said, I will absolutely leave the door open for them to change my mind, for them to win me over, for them to prove me wrong. And I hope that they do. I would never be more happy to be wrong. But I don't think that's going to happen. So what do you guys think? Please let me know down below in the comment section. So that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed this, please click over here for a playlist of all of my season reviews of Dexter. And I'm also going to put my season finale review of Dexter New Blood, one of my most popular videos, which was shocking, for you to check that out as well. Please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my coverage of whatever the fuck comes out of this. And as always, please remember, opinions are like assholes. That doesn't mean you have to be.